Okay, so first I added 182 grams of potassium nitrate to my boiling flask. Then I added 182 grams of sulfuric acid. I put it all in there. I assembled my distillation setup. I turned on my water pump. Now I'm just waiting for the temperature to climb. Once it hits about 80 degrees, it starts boiling. And that's when you get your first drops of sulfuric acid. Try to keep it under 130 degrees or else you'll decompose your nitric acid, and that's not good. So we'll be back in a little bit when it starts to boil. Okay, so now that we're up to temperature, you can start to see the condensation front building. It's about 80 degrees or so. Pretty soon we'll get our first drops of nitric acid, Now I forgot to mention before, but I'm using just a normal burner, so I have to wrap it in tin foil to keep the heat in. But pretty soon here we'll have our first drops of nitric acid, red fuming nitric acid. My next video will be how to vacuum distill, but that'll be tomorrow. Now you can see the condensation front. If I go closer, you can see the nitric acid refluxing. Right now there's a lot of NO2 fumes, but pretty soon those will subside and we'll get some nitric acid in my receiving flask. I only had 2 sets of clamps, so I made a homemade set for the last one. Okay, so now we're up to temperature and you can start to see the nitric acid form. It's really red because I'm using a brand of drain cleaner that is kind of off-colored sulfuric acid, so it's called liquid fire. That's all I could find for now. But it still gets the job done. So now we're about 100 degrees or so and the NO2 fumes have cleared. And we're starting to get some nitric acid drips. So if all goes well, I'll have a bunch of acid to show you. It's now clear, so that's a good sign. Pretty soon I'm going to take off the tin foil because it's up to temperature. I don't want to get it too hot. I got a really long Libre condenser. The longer the better. Mine's 500 millimeters. That's as big as I could find. The ones that come with this set was really short and it wasn't really efficient at as you can see now that these drops are really big, so that means that my condenser is working well. If you got a bunch of small drops, that means that your condenser is too small and it's not really condensing the fumes that good. But you can see it's a steady stream of drips, so it's going pretty well. It's got some condensation on it from the ice I have in the water. But it's nice and clear now, so at the end I'll show you what I got. Okay, so now you can see this nitric acid dripping in there. My phone is dying, so I'm not going to have much power, so I'm not going to show you the finished product, but this is basically it anyways. It's called red fuming nitric acid, and I'll probably get about 150 milliliters out of that bit. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and rate.